What's up, everybody? Xero-G here, back with another reaction video. This time it's to Joshua Fluke in a video titled, "Your boss's AI is learning your job." And that's work.
So you know how a lot of companies fired a bunch of people and replaced them with AI, only to realize that the AI wasn't quite there yet, so then they hired them back at a cheaper rate, of course. But only now, there's enterprise AI, which is there to watch you while you work. Why is it doing that? Well, I mean, you can guess the implications.
Yes.
So it can learn what you're doing and eventually potentially take over. How employees are training their own AI replacement. And they're talking about this new Wall Street Journal article here. Workers are afraid AI will take their jobs, but they're missing the bigger danger. The article says right now workers are potentially training AI how to make them obsolete, and they often don't realize it. And that kind of AI is called enterprise AI. It can capture everything you do at work and use that information to train itself. The prompts you write, the documents you create, the queries you run. In other words, the company can potentially track and claim ownership of every keystroke you make within the system. So imagine employee monitoring that's monitoring your software, your keystrokes, whatever it is you're doing, sending screenshots to your boss just to make sure you're productive. But what if instead you not only monitor them, you take all that information and put it into AI so that it can learn how they work and potentially do their job. So now not only do you get a productivity metric from monitoring them, you're also just feeding all of that info to the enterprise AI. Now, not every job is replaceable doing this.
Yeah, because, look, at some point, they're going to automate every fucking thing. But for now, it's mainly the white-collar workers, right? Especially the tech guys that are having to deal with this. Right? As long as the job can be performed on a computer, it's way more liable to be replaced by technology. Right? The more hands-on you are, the less likely it is. And then you have to wait for the robots to catch up with the AI. But they're on their way. I saw an underwater welding robot. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Still judgment calls that need to be made that can't be trained on all the time.
Yes, human oversight, I would argue, even after this thing gets quote-unquote perfected, I would still want a class of security guards, overseers, whatever you want to call them, who watches the machine. You let the machine work and build itself. You let it speak its own language. I can definitely see a future in which we have to shoot these motherfuckers off of our planet. You know, they got to stop with this machine and just all pro-machine, no human oversight at all. The dark factories are already there, but I'm hoping that there's some person watching over them.
But what companies are trying to do is get all of the institutional knowledge that has been split amongst all of the employees. There's usually a reason why top performers stay somewhere instead of going somewhere else when they have that kind of power. Well, with enterprise AI systems, they can just watch what that salesperson does all the time. And then they can learn how to replicate that same vibe. At least that's what they think. The thing with enterprise AI is that it tries to learn what makes you different. It tries to eliminate the entire reason you went to college. As you can see, it can identify what approaches work best, what email language got responses, and how you approach those clients. And then all of that knowledge becomes part of the company AI. So they're just AI monitoring everything and using AI to improve it and learn on what you're doing to try and potentially replace your job or improve your job is what they'll tell you. They're trying to take away linchpin knowledge, which is the sort of knowledge that without you, the company would fall apart. And to do that, instead of asking you to document everything you know and writing it all down, they're just watching you work and taking it that way and using AI to figure out what it is that makes you special so that they have to pay you those big bucks. Or, you know, it's what companies do. They try and figure out ways to...
We need to figure out how to replace you so we don't have to pay you this much money. Because I want your money. I know you make like over $400,000 a year, sir, but you costing us $400,000 a year. So this robot is going to sit here and watch. This is like, what's that episode of Regular Show with the giant eyeball, man? That's what it is, man. We're just going to see how you work. Now, granted, the Regular Show episode is not one-to-one of an example. It's just the idea of watching people, right? We're just going to see you work. And then when we figure out how to create a robot copy of yourself, your services are no longer required. It's not going to improve our system. They just want to figure out how to make sure the machine is capable enough to fire your ass.
Optimize everything. If they didn't have to pay you, they wouldn't. The dangerous part for employees is that the AI can pass information along to anybody else who does your job, or in some cases, just do the job itself. And then over time, your job could become a lot less valuable to your employer and a lot more replaceable. Now, this dynamic may fundamentally change the relationship between employer and employee. I think the main change between employer and employee is trust and transparency. When companies start implementing this stuff under the guise of employee improvement, company improvement, when really...
They're not being transparent when they say that.
They have all these other agendas, but they don't tell you that. They just tell you the one that sounds like it benefits you and them. It's a win-win for now, and then it'll just be a win for them. Now, apparently, some employees are fighting back by secretly adopting personal AI tools so that their employers can't capture everything they do, and this might potentially violate corporate policies. It goes a bit deeper into what enterprise AI systems actually...
Well, because people are not trying to get fired. Like, you're trying to do what happened when the Ford Model T was around, right? Criminals started street racing. And what happens when people started racing their cars? The police had to appear with their cars to chase down these criminals. But the criminals are always faster. They're always faster.
One example of this is with Copilot. It's already embedded in a whole bunch of your work apps. And if they have...
Yeah. Thanks, Microsoft.
I think it's called Microsoft Graph Data enabled with Copilot, then it's also collecting a whole bunch of internal information and learning how you work, how you talk, what sorts of documents you make. It's built in. So it runs behind the scenes and it's just looking at everything you do. learning how it's done. Another example is Salesforce's Einstein AI. They use that a lot to watch the sales-client relationship, to improve the relationship, of course, so they can just replace it. Essentially, enterprise AI has access to key aspects of your expertise, whether you're working at the company or not. They can get a partial blueprint for how you think, and some of the knowledge that once made you indispensable is now a reproducible company asset.
Don't you just love that? The thing that made you get the job in the first place, they're figuring out what makes you so special so they can just make more of you. Because once they make more of you, we already know the logical end to this. You'll be out of a job. It violates company policy that you're using AI to block our AI from learning from you. What, so y'all can fire me? Look, I have linchpin knowledge, right? And if you're trying to fire me, I might as well get another job elsewhere that doesn't do this shit. But who knows how long that will stay like that?
Isn't it good to be employee B0125? That's my favorite employee number. So what can you do about this? You can basically try and negotiate with the company up front and say, no, I'm not going to be involved in your enterprise AI, in which case
you'll just say, okay, here's a door. Leave your badge right here.
you'll probably just not get the job unless you have something
Yeah, like
super special about you. Or you can do the old collective action and try and get everyone to not use it at the same time. I think if you're going to apply to a company and they have an enterprise AI system, I'd be very kind of wary of it. What are they watching? Once I work there for more than 6 months, am I still going to have any unique value? It's just become so obvious that employers don't trust employees. They don't care about employees, and
they don't like the average working people. They don't like the average men at these companies, man. Look, they don't trust people. And that lack of trust is what's going to get them hurt. Right? Because they don't trust anybody. It's not just the employees. They don't trust anybody. They don't trust the fucking security team. But they know somebody has a CYA, right? So, only up until a point. Only up until a point.
they'll tell you to your face the complete opposite, if you can get an interview, that is. It's mind-blowing to me. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share it with someone else so they know about enterprise AI, and to be on the lookout. If you have anything you'd like me to showcase on the channel, you can email me, Instagram, Discord, however you.
Well, that was a good video from Joshua Fluke. Yeah. Train the AI to get your job replaced. How about no? Fuck off. It's been Xero-G, guys. See you in the void, signing out.